Okay, so my baby grass is finally starting to grow. It's been about a week. It's right on cue, especially since we just had, we dipped cool for a few days over last week, and then we warmed up again to the 80s. So just like clockwork, as soon as that warm weather kicked in again, it germinated just like that, literally overnight. Yesterday I was out here checking on it, and I found like 1 or 2 grass seeds that were just starting to show little sprigs and signs of life. Then overnight, I've got grass seed popping up all over the place. However, I want to show you the importance of staying on top of your watering. Although this warmth is really helping kick up the grass seed, I want to show you how quickly things can dry out. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is a prime example. You can see some areas in this section get filtered light all day long. Other areas are right up against a fence, deep shade, and so they're getting hindered a little bit because the sprinkler wasn't growing, but it's starting to sprout. As I get in here and look closer, you can see, I mean, yesterday there was no signs of life in here. This is about all I expect on the first day or two. The grass seed is going to go through, but when you start looking around, you move over 5 feet and you start looking at the sections of the grass that got watered even 3 hours ago. I was out here, it's about 3 o'clock now. I was out here around 10, 11 maybe, turned the hose on. And the section that was 4 feet over with this high 75, low 80 degrees. I mean, the wind is just howling all day. It just sucks the moisture right out of the ground. That grass seed that's sitting in these areas does not care what moisture is in that soil down below the surface. It only cares about right where the seed is sitting, and it is powder. Any sections that haven't been getting water at all, like underneath the trampoline, it just looks like a sand pit. So the rest of this area, staying on it, is working a little bit better. But I want to show you one kind of cool observation. One thing I've been starting to do the last few years is appreciating the value of using compost. When you've got a big area that's bare and you just need to touch it up, or grubs killed off an area, I like using compost instead of soil, just a nice thin layer. And you can see this one area here, I had a holly tree that I had planted in here a while back that we ripped out, but I had a yard of compost in here, and it wasn't anything premium. It was just from our greenhouses, recycled stuff, so it's not picture perfect stuff by any means. But look at this. Just shows you how much compost really holds the moisture, and that really defines the success with grass seed. This area, as I start getting closer, you can see much heavier germination rates. It's coming in much thicker, and like I said, yesterday this wasn't even sprouting. This was all dirt yesterday, but overall this whole area here wasn't even getting the greatest amount of water at the very beginning of the week. So even with as little water we put on it, but you can see the line. That is just all powder, all over there, just outside the sprinkler lines. But even though this area gets filtered sun on and off all day, it is still holding the moisture, and we're getting much far superior results right in this area. So the bottom line is, do you need compost in order to grow grass seed? No. But grass has been getting beat up with this crazy weather. We've got picture perfect growing conditions right now for lawns, but not an ounce of moisture. So do you need compost? No, but every chance you can do to get off of synthetic fertilizers and to get superior results, great. That's why it's a great tool to incorporate compost when doing patches and repair work. But at the same time, you can still get good results. Just keep water 2-3 times a day. Again, 10-15 minutes most. Don't let it puddle, just enough to keep that top perfectly wet. And it's about a week. That's about average. That's all. Don't panic when you see patches and bare spots. Most mixtures, especially when I'm using a shade mix in here, it's going to have some ryegrass in there, it's going to have some bluegrass, but predominantly fescues. And bluegrass and fescues can take a lot longer to germinate. Some grass seeds at this time of year in summer, I guess today's technically the first day of fall, it can take up to 2 weeks if you're keeping on the moisture to get that seed to germinate. If we're dipping into the 40s at night, like we did a couple times last week, that can even be dragged out farther. So stay on the watering, let it germinate as fast as it can, and be patient. All right, hope that helps. Take care, everybody.